Good afternoon. We are here today near the end of the school year to engage in some progress monitoring once again to check Carrie's progress on her reading, fluency, and comprehension, to see how she has improved her skills throughout the school year. We're going to use a level 28 DRA, which is a developmental reading assessment. This is a research-based fluency and comprehension check. Level 28 is the end of the second grade in general, and we are hoping to find that Carrie has mastered that level today. A DRA2 contains a teacher observation guide that the teacher uses to conduct the assessment, and within that guide there is the timed passage for the oral reading fluency and a comprehension check that is actually in two parts. One part before the student reads the text, and that focuses on predictions, and the second part the student completes on his or her own after reading the text, and that focuses on summarizing and reflecting on the text. In this story, "You Don't Look Beautiful to Me," Mother Skunk thinks Little Skunk is beautiful. The other animals don't think so. Please read aloud on page 2, Carrie, and you can stop reading when you get to this asterisk. Okay, begin.
"You are so beautiful," Mother Skunk said as she looked down at Skunk beside her on the warm rock. She ruffled up his fur with her nose and tickled his feet. Little Skunk rolled over and on the rock. The spring day was beautiful. The birds were making nests. Trees had little green buds on them. Yellow and blue flowers poked their heads out of the ground. The warm sun was bright. "This is the best day in my whole life," Little Skunk said, shaking the dirt out of his shiny fur. Little Skunk was so happy that he ran off to talk to the other animals in the woods. He didn't go far when he met Little Rabbit. "Hello, Little Rabbit," he said. "My mother says I'm beautiful." He drew circles in the air with his long tail. Little Rabbit looked at him and wrinkled up his nose. "Your tail looks too long to me, and how can you hear anything with such big ears? You're not beautiful at all." He hopped away.
So now that Carrie has completed the oral reading fluency part of the progress monitoring check, we see that she read the 176 words per minute, the 176 word count in 1 minute and 41 seconds with 8 errors. She demonstrated 1 omission and 7 substitutions. When we chart this information according to the guidelines given, we see that Carrie falls within the independent reading section for this level 28 within the DRA2 testing assessment. We see that that her words per minute also matched this independent level. When we look at the number of miscues and her percent of accuracy, she falls within the lower end of the independent level, but they also match and align where she is at this point in her reading level.
So according to what we've just figured out, because I do not fall within the instructional or the interventional level for either the words per minute or the accuracy, I do not need to go down to a lower text because I am already at an independent level with this text. So I would stay with this text for the comprehension questions. And the comprehension questions, the teacher would hand the student a sheet of paper, and it has questions for the students to answer regarding text features and making predictions. And the student would do this before they started reading the text again. And then after reading, the student would then independently summarize, recall facts, interpret, and reflect by answering questions. The scores are then marked on a DRA2 continuum. If the score is less than 14, we would reassess with a lower level text.
Upon completion of the assessment, we will take all the information gathered and first use the teacher analysis to take a closer look at the oral reading fluency. In order to dissect the miscues further, we would use this particular graph or chart here in the packet and decide what type of miscues Carrie was making. We've determined that her miscues almost never interfered with the meaning. We've also determined that these substitutions were semantically similar as opposed to visually similar. We've taken this information and we've charted it on the DRA2 continuum. And once again, her data aligns with the previous information we collected, showing her still in an independent scoring area.
Okay, based on the data we collected and the analysis we just performed, we would enhance instruction by doing the following strategies. We would model and support how to take words apart to problem solve unknown words, teach how to use word chunks and analogies to problem solve unknown words, and provide spelling activities and word sorts to help the student recognize these patterns in words. And we would do this in a daily small group setting where they would focus on reading instruction.